I just realized I had the desktop audio muted, so all your guys' intros were muted.
Yes, I remember that one. I've done that a few times.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
We just
do a quick
important. I don't know.
Do
I'm just
a
here.
quick
I don't
run
know.
around. Quick.
Page.
Aaron
God damn it.
Reynolds. That's Aaron
Hi.
Reynolds. That's
Hey.
Emily Hulslander. That's Lucifer
Hi, guys.
Morningstar. We're doing a show.
Hello.
Okay.
Awesome. Great. All right, we're here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like cram in as much like stuff at work as possible last week and this week to like so nothing catches on fire essentially while I'm on off for 12 days.
Yeah. I can
So-
understand that.
Yeah, because I'm going to be off work from the 22nd until the 2nd of January.
You've got like another week, right?
Yes, so this entire week, I'm basically probably going to be working 10-hour days to get everything ready and
rough.
done and just out the door. So that way I can
All right.
be like, I'm free!
Man, I hope you're ready for some midweek Marvel rivals.
Yeah, I am.
Yes.
All right, good. Good.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'll do that and then immediately hop into Marvel Rivals. It's a good time.
No, not this week. I'm speaking to the vacation.
Oh
'cause-
yes, I will be playing Marvel Rivals at 10 in the morning in my underwear, like the filthy degenerate that I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
God damn
Yeah.
it. God
Good
damn
That's
it.
how
stuff.
we live. That's the way we do it. I only
Yes.
put pants on because of this respectable podcast. Otherwise, I would not be wearing pants right now.
Yeah.
It is too early for them pants.
Mm.
Fair. Anyway, hey, guess what? Video game news happened this week.
Sure did.
As you wouldn't.
Okay.
What? Like what?
Like it didn't happen last week.
No.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No news last week.
No news.
We were on
none.
vacation. Nothing happened.
So Sony has confirmed its interest in acquiring FromSoftware's parent company, Kadokawa. So they're apparently the media powerhouse was in talks to be bought by several different companies, including a South Korean company whom they do not want to be bought by, and Microsoft as well, and Tencent.
Oh.
So all of them are not a fan of any, but they're not a fan of most of those, the staff and the company itself. The one they want is Sony. And yeah, that's basically
Which
the long and
makes
short of that.
sense.
I mean, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna ask, what is the reasoning that they mainly want Sony and not everyone else? If they went with Xbox, I feel like it would be better for their games, considering Game Pass and everything being a Xbox.
I mean, the problem there is like FromSoft, people are going to buy their games full price, no problem. I don't think that's an attractive deal for them.
I also think
Well, that's right.
I also think that Microsoft's management of their portfolio until recently has been kind of shit.
Yeah.
They've hit a real good streak the past 4 months or so, and I'm hoping it continues into the next year, which it looks like it will. But man, they've had a
You
real
need a
rough
longer
time.
track record before making a business decision like that.
Yeah, and then also, I think the reason why that the company would rather it be Sony is because it's the only one that's a Japanese company. And Japan
true
is
too,
very much... Japan really likes to only deal with itself when possible. So... they will have...
And yeah, so that makes sense for them for sure. And they've worked with Sony before.
Sony owns 15% of FromSoftware itself.
Already. Like just So
Yeah.
what's changing here?
Yeah, just like Tencent, I think owns a percentage of them as well. But yeah, I get the feeling that they don't want to be owned by a Chinese or Korean or American company is the primary reason they want Sony. So,
Which I get.
yeah.
The interesting thing is Sony coming into. So okay, let's cut to the chase here. This is about Bloodborne. We want an updated Bloodborne or a sequel to Bloodborne, or at least just bump the frame rate up to Bloodborne. Didn't Sony already have some sort of control over this, or does this help?
I mean, Sony has the rights to Bloodborne.
They do, but they don't have the rights to like get the developer to go make some stuff, right?
No, they would have to make a deal.
Or they would get like Bluebird Team. I don't know.
I think
who do they get to go in there and do work?
Who is the developer who did Lies of P?
There's Pi.
No, it's Lies of P.
Lies of Pi is a movie. Lies of P is a game.
Every time somebody has talked about it to me, it's like, oh yeah, I'm playing Lies of P or Pi.
Yeah. Life of Pi. Yeah, who is that developer?
I have the answer.
Go ahead.
What is it, Emily?
NeoWiz and Round 8 Studio are the developers.
Get those guys. They did a good job with
those
their
guys.
Bloodborne like.
I mean, they did. I'm just thinking, like, how much of a team do you need? How much of a game developing team do you need to just, like, bump the frame rate up?
Bump the frame rate in the res? Probably.
And in the res.
So from what I understand, the reason they can't just go do that themselves is because a lot of the animations in the game are tied to the frame rate. So they would have to go and rework a lot of that stuff. It's not a simple up-res job.
Okay, so you would need to get like a full-on developer in there.
Yeah, like I know that there
why not just redo the whole thing?
I mean, if you can keep it faithful, because otherwise people think that's like a perfect video game. So
I mean, they're basically right. It's the frame rate's the only thing that doesn't make it a perfect video game.
Right, and then updating, yeah. So does this help?
I think it goes a long way, because at that point Sony could just go in and say, you're doing this Bloodborne thing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
On top of this, Kadokawa employees are reportedly in favor of Sony buyout due to issues with current management. So
who's current management?
Kadokawa, like the current management at Kadokawa.
Oh, okay. I know nothing about him. All right.
Employees with the company are keen for the acquisition to go through, largely due to issues with management and desire for a change in leadership. Let's see. Speaking to Bun Shun, economic analyst Takahiro Suzuki said he believes that Sony would be obviously thrilled by acquiring the wealth of content and IP by Kadokawa. Yay, more consolidation in the game industry. Yay. Yay.
It begins.
Again. Let's see.
The game wars have begun.
Yes. Kadokawa will lose its independence and management will become stricter. If they want to keep developing their business as freely as they have until now, this acquisition would be a bad choice. They'd have to be prepared for publications that don't lead the IP creation to be under scrutiny. However, the report claims that many inside the company are keen. People are thrilled to prospect. There's a number of employees that have been dissatisfied with the Natsuno administration, which didn't even bother to hold a press conference after people's personal information was leaked in the cyber attack. They expect that if Sony were to acquire the company, they would get rid of the president first.
Wow.
Okay. Oh man,
wow.
That's some real shade. Comment in the
people
chat.
Are feeling strongly.
Comment in the chat says good morning, and I'm looking forward to the new Doom.
Good morning. Yes, that game looks great.
That is also going to be a game.
Surprised they didn't show anything about the.
I mean, what do they need to show at this point, right?
They
it is just more Doom.
Like I'm going to play this. The two prior games were fantastic games. So,
yeah. So
I arguably would say that Doom 16 is better than Eternal. in a lot of aspects.
I could definitely understand that. All right. So moving forward. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm curious to see if it goes through. It seems like it seems like it's in the very early stages of let's make this happen, guys. If we make this happen on the books, let's do it.
If that seems to be a win-win for everyone, as long as no one just tears that developer apart, they're in a position right now where they have the upper hand in terms of influence.
Also, I want to say they have the potential to do the funniest thing they could do.
Okay.
Oh God.
Elden Ring 2 PS5 exclusive.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they could.
Elden Ring 2 PS6 launch exclusive.
How about
all right,
Bloodborne 2 PS5 exclusive?
Yeah.
There's a whole lot. There's a whole lot. I don't see why they wouldn't do that.
I don't either. But man,
and make a little more money sending it out to Xbox, but Sony has shown we are going to win this by just being a good game console and having some exclusives. So
yeah,
let's just add shit to the fire.
Yeah.
Alrighty. That would be a big dick swinging in a locker room move. They launch the PlayStation 6 and it's like, oh, by the way, launch day. Bloodborne 2 will be available.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
Wild.
And I know that they're porting their game to PC a year or two late. So the PC version will come around, but it's still a lot of people don't want to wait, man. And they're willing to drop the money to play day and date. So
yep.
What is this waiting?
I mean, I'm willing to pay the $500 or whatever it is to play the game, a year or two sooner. Fuck it, sure. All right. Speaking of games coming soon, publishers are reportedly refusing to commit to 2025 until GTA 6 gets a release date revealed.
Smart.
No, that's absolutely genius.
Oh, absolutely. But now Rockstar's got the whole gaming industry by the balls, essentially.
They have, but this is the most.
They have.
That's the most That's just the most complete video game package. Is Grand Theft Auto? It's a must-have every time. So, yes.
Yep.
Maybe we'll release it in March. Maybe we'll do it in February. Who knows? Maybe we'll do it in the summer. Keep waiting.
You want to talk about people getting mad at developers for announcing a launch date and then pushing it, the uproar of a GTA 6 push after
they're having fun with it, if anything. I mean, the fact that we would be willing to wait 3 console generations for it.
I mean, I'm sitting here thinking I'm thinking about all these hundreds of developers working on this game and thinking we cannot commit to a time frame because we're just trying to make sure this all fits together well enough that we can launch it, somewhat soon. But we couldn't give you a date. This shit's crazy.
Yes,
I mean, to be fair. Oh, sorry.
They have said fall 2025. So that's
okay.
Anywhere from the middle of September to the middle of December of next year.
Which is a hot time.
Yeah.
I love the idea of just them bullying everyone out of next year's fucking holiday release cycle.
That would be amazing.
I just released all of your good games at the beginning of the year at this point, because if you don't, your sales are going to be heavily impacted because that game is going to sell, whether it's good or not. But as long as they keep working on it, I think they're also trying to avoid the last game's release where it was not so great at launch. I mean,
well, the
it's one of
multiplayer, the multiplayer
yeah.
was scuffed, but like the fucking single player was perfect at the time, at least.
Oh, absolutely. But like that's where they make their money is the multiplayer. Sure,
Yeah,
this game's gonna be a great single player, but everyone wants to get in that Vice City online life together now. Let's go be Tony Montana online together.
There are hundreds of streamers waiting to get online and RP, man.
that I totally get that, but like I don't know, the Red Dead 2 online came a couple weeks later. I think that they're always gonna they're gonna stagger it like always, so people actually
Oh yeah, they
try
are
the single player.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this trailer, their trailer that was put out a year ago, by the way. Now it's been a year. 226 million views.
Yep.
Wait, really? It's been a year since they revealed it?
Since the trailer dropped? Yeah.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Time goes, man.
Damn. Wow. It really does.
So
we're gonna be dead soon. It's exciting.
Speak for yourself. I'm gonna live forever and then die.
Oh, okay, great.
Like let's put it this way: GTA 5 is the second best-selling video game of all time. And it's not even close what second is, by the way.
Okay.
So number 1 is Minecraft at 300 million.
All right.
Number 2 is Grand Theft Auto 5 at 205 million.
Jesus.
And then number 3 is Wii Sports at 82 million.
That's some ridiculous company around you.
Yeah, like that's, man, the fact that you are over double the fucking next guy, you know,
and the next guy is fucking Wii Sports.
Yes, and,
that's insane.
Yeah, well, let's put it this way: Red Dead Redemption 2, a game that's online, no one gives a shit about, 67 million copies.
Yep.
Yeah, like,
and
holy
to be fair,
shit.
people wanted that online, just not enough. I want to be a cowboy.
Yes, but they didn't want it enough, so
wasn't
I
enough.
live that life. You don't want to.
Yeah, I've actually worked on a farm. That shit sucks.
Well, yes, no, I'm playing a video game. What do you think this is?
I don't know anymore.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, so that's funny. Just a funny little news story. Be like, hey, anyone who is scheduled for second half of 2025 is considering delaying, depending on what happens.
I mean, yes, that's the smart move. That is the game of whatever year it releases.
Yep.
All time.
So
every day, every year.
Speaking of smash hit video games,
Uh-huh.
Marvel Rivals, 10 million players in just 3 days.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It is the 20th. So it is the 20th highest most concurrent player ever on Steam mark, beating out Helldivers 2, Destiny 2, and GTA 5 on the Steam charts. And it is currently rocking mostly positive reviews as a whole as well.
Mostly positive, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Can we get some negative reviews?
Yeah. Is it the Overwatch community?
It's a lot.
It was a bit buggy too at the start.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me pull up Marvel Rivals Steam reviews. All right, let's get some winners in here, baby.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. All right, we want negative reviews. Constant crashes. The game is fun though. I'm getting restrictions due to crashes, so I can't play.
Yep.
Poor optimization for a game that shouldn't require so much of a PC. Bro,
That's.
I'm so
Wow.
tired of hearing people bitch about that with this game because its minimum specs are an 8-year-old GPU and a 9-year-old CPU. This thing can run on a Steam Deck. What potato do these people have?
Or they're just using the wrong words.
I will answer this as a recently reformed console gamer that has gradually been scoffing at the idea of becoming a PC master race. You get a gaming PC so you can play other games. Okay, but I'm gonna stick with my console. I'm gonna always stick with my console. Oh, but it's it probably works better on the PC. Oh, this works like shit. I'm gonna go back to the console. It's the console gamers that complain and let their PC, much like me, up until recently, it is console gamers that let their PC gets heavily outdated and can't run.
So the thing is, your old GPU was a 1660, right?
Yeah, 1660 Ti.
Yeah, that's still way newer and faster than what is the minimum requirement for the game. So, like,
I wonder if they're attributing, just like the crashing to their PC performance when it's not that. Like they're just been having issues with crashes, which I have. My computer can run that Marvel Rivals on low fine, but it just crashed a bunch.
So I haven't got any crashes, believe it or not. I've never gotten it to crash. What I've had is a lag in a cutscene or like the after battle like little scene. That's the only issue I've actually had.
I had some crash issues, and then I updated my drivers, and I was fine. I also
my drivers were updated and
just Bandicoot out of there.
I also stopped overclocking my GPU because it was causing stability issues. So I was just like, all right, well, cool. Yeah, there you go. So
but yeah, I don't know. There's some stuff at the beginning of any game. There can be bugs, and unfortunately for a very, very popular multiplayer game, like people are going to be a bit harder on that.
Very unreasonable.
They made a bunch of fixes. They came out with that patch recently, so
you can see Hello's boob. Calm the fuck down. All right, you're getting what you want.
Just chill out.
Speaking of Bronson, did you hear about the they've been looking into assets for this game?
Yes,
and the models are very detailed, more than they should be for a game like this.
Yeah, they know what they did. Man. They saw what happened.
They're copying the Overwatch model, and we all know what played a huge part in making Overwatch popular beyond the fantastic character design and the way they promoted that game, and that it was good at the start, is porn. And so they know.
So some other notable reviews, people complaining about Elo Hell. Rank system is terrible. Starts out at Bronze 3 and you cannot rank up unless you get lucky with a good team. But even if you don't, the other team is top competitive team and you lose because they're in Bronze 3 and not the top rank.
So the solution to this is to get a damn team together.
Yeah. It's that's what it is. It is.
Or communicate and hope for the best that you get someone who's willing to communicate back. But I wouldn't put money on that.
Yeah, I have been doing solo queue ranked. I'm silver 3. Yeah, dude, it honestly is a crapshoot about solo queuing ranked, because sometimes you do get people who are absolutely great. They're fantastic. They communicate. They pick the right comps, and then you get some dudes like this guy who picked Black Panther. Would not pick off Black Panther even though he was dog shit at playing Black Panther, and then when everyone on the team, this has happened a couple of times, Aaron, not just our experience last night.
Right. But it's funny because I have a friend who got to Bronze 1 recently and is like, So a lot of the players have stopped being bad, except for Black Panther for some reason. And so I don't know why that keeps happening specifically to that character, but it's funny.
But yeah, so and then he does terrible, and we're like, dude, we need another tank or healer, and he's like, nah, dude, it ain't that serious, and I'm like, no, dude, it's ranked. People
You're
take
in
it serious.
ranked.
Yeah, and he just fucks off and sucks as Black Panther for the entire time, and I'm just like,
It's not that serious. Like, I love a game where people aren't taking it seriously, but don't go into ranked.
Yeah, yes, like this is for people to get fucking sweaty. If
That's
you don't,
the fun of it. Yes.
If you don't want to,
goddamn sauna for fuck's sake.
Yes. If you don't want to play multiple characters in multiple different roles and adjust as the game goes on, you know, your comp to suit the situation, then don't play fucking ranked. Do what we did last night where we had no tank at one point.
Hey, I tanked.
Yes.
All right. Squirrel Girl is a proper tank.
Yes.
She can,
not proper, but yes.
I was holding the the objective quite a while myself, just a Squirrel Girl.
In our last match last night, we did, Lucy. I ended up just getting so tired of not having tanks or good tanks. I just switched to Venom, and we won, and I had 32 kills and most damage. And I was just like, God damn it.
Just need
I was just tired by then. I was like, I'm so done. I don't want to do this anymore.
Let's see.
My brain needs a nap.
You know, let's see. People saying this game are still in the honeymoon phase where everyone gushes over it. Once that's over, this game will face the same problems with Overwatch. It's balancing overtuned characters to hell, and only listening to the wannabe esports players with no concern for the wider audience.
I knew it. Overwatch people.
Let's see. That was definitely part of it.
They're just mad they don't have anyone to play with. They're just mad about not having anyone to play with. That's it.
Yeah, so it's a mixture of people bitching about optimization, people bitching about being in elo hell. Let's see.
Right.
Yeah, this guy's like 30 hours and he's basically just bitching about elo hell, and I'm like, you know, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, this guy, fix the game. My games are always so one-sided. It's actually so bad every game I get into is one-sided, and I always have bots on my team. Plus Hawkeye, who's in their right mind, made him the most annoying character to go against. And the fact that he can one-shot and Black Widow can't is crazy. This game is so unfair. The game started off well, with each day just starting to get draining. Fix the matchmaking and characters. And also, I had a match that I joined last minute, and the team I joined was so bad, the next match, it was the same map and the same teammate. And this game expects me not to leave the matches. Like, I will leave games when they are unfair, and there's no way around it.
My guy?
Wait, what?
My guy, how are you getting bots?
I think he means bots, like people who play like bots.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope so. Because...
Yeah,
shit, man. And then, like, there's so many people playing, the idea that you load it up and you just got the same team again. I feel like the odds of that, unless you accidentally opted in.
Well, yeah, no, I have definitely ran into the same dude in like a match or two later, so that's not uncommon.
That
because
seems odd, doesn't it?
No, because
well, I mean, for ranked, not really.
Well, and also
there's just so many people playing this game. There's got to be more than this one team playing at my level.
Remember, it's broken up in region and ping. So, like, we're only getting people... So, like, when we queue us, we're only getting people in, I think it's California and Dallas. Or who are going to those servers.
I just think the amount of...
I don't understand that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't... There's so many people playing this game. So many people. That's wild to me, but... Yeah, I don't know. I guess I can't speak to every single experience that's happening for everyone, but there's a lot of complaining about the system, the ELO system, and all that I just don't think is a real problem. I think if you're getting wiped in ranked. Like, that sucks. Get a team together and coordinate and plan and get better at your characters. Get a good comp going. Like, that's the only option you got.
Yeah.
Is there balancing issues? Sure, but like, I don't know, play to those balancing issues. Play Iron Fist.
Yeah, no, like I'm just looking at the complaints, and a lot of them are that exactly what we talked about, just people being like, "Yo, dog," you know, yeah, it's
yeah, I don't.
It's just a lot of elo hell complaints. It's a lot of optimization complaints.
I understand to a degree, but
you know,
I don't know.
I think it's a personal problem for these guys.
I understand the technical issues. They fixed some bugs. They're working on the other stuff. Then that's just going to be a gradual process. And then in regards to balancing, I hope they treat it gently, because I think what they've done with these characters is still, after this time, like, I know it's still pretty soon after release, but the way they have it right now is fun. I would like a nerf on Iron Fist, but we're still winning against Iron Fist. So
yeah, well,
I don't know.
Comment in the chat. I love the game and I suck.
Yeah, same.
I'm above average and I love the game. So, yep.
Depends on who I'm playing as. I'm totally awesome at Penny Parker with the right team. I can solo with Squirrel Girl now, and I'm pretty good with Loki. So I mean, I've got a character for each role if I need to step into it now.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll save what I'm talking about for Rivals at the end, but yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's great. I think that you know, people with these negative reviews are fucking zero IQ here.
Silly. I could totally see them being salty about Overwatch, which I would say direct that ire at Blizzard for what they've done with Overwatch.
Yep, exactly. Alrighty.
It is. I mean, the funny thing is, like, every game does, like, oh, I'm gonna be the Halo killer, and in this particular case, this might actually be a Halo killer.
It's a
Overwatch
huge hill to climb, but it could. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Time will only tell. It's only been what, 10 days?
Yeah, about.
Close to that.
But man, I played total. I think I'm up to 56 hours on this game in 10 days.
Yeah.
It is going to be my most played game of the year by the time we do Game of the Year in January.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is. So yeah. So, speaking of which, there was another hero shooter that came out this year called Concord. You may remember it.
I do. I remember pictures of it. Never touched it in my life.
Marvel Rivals director thinks Concord flopped because it didn't bring any unique value. Sony took Concord offline after poor reception and refunded everyone. And then it also, lost $400 million in the process because of the $200 million they spent to make the game, the $200 million to buy the studio that made it, that they then shut down earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
So the head of the Marvel Rival Studio said he thinks that there's a switching cost. I've already invested in Overwatch. I've got 15 skins for Pharah. I'm not going anywhere. As a game developer, you're always worried until the audience has responded. The truth is, I don't think anybody can accurately predict this, or the game industry would be radically different. There's a lot of games that come out and people are like it's going to do well, then it flops. Or people come out and go, it's going to flop, and it succeeds. So I think it's really hard to tell ahead of time, and you're always worried about that. Sasser says he hoped the Marvel IP would be enough to convince players who are already invested in competing games to try his game. I think the trick you need is to have the reason that people want to come and play your game. I think Rivals does exactly that with the superhero. I don't know about you, but when I heard the concept of the game, I was like, oh my god, I want to be Storm in a game. I want to go be Doctor Strange. I want to be those heroes. That sounds awesome. And of course, my mind immediately up to all the cool possibilities you could do with that. That's why I think we'll pull people in. If we've done our jobs well, they'll love to play and they'll want to play some more. Yeah, Concord didn't have a hook. He's right.
Like okay, so the most interesting thing about Concord was its choice of art style, but the problem was
it's very ugly art
it.
style. It's
That's the thing. It wasn't very appealing. Like the thing about Overwatch, they had a really appealing character design, and it was like kind of neutral, and so it could let the characters go off in different directions with their design and their colors and everything. And then Concord was like this teal magenta future looking thing that, like, I'm sorry to the artists, but sometimes it's like, was AI used as concept art and then they like fleshed it out from there? Because it just looks strange.
Yeah,
it really didn't look that impressive.
I remember looking at that roster and seeing one character that looked interesting to play. Versus this game, the entire roster looks awesome, and I want to try.
The art style is incredible for Rivals. Oh
yes,
my god!
And man, yeah, like, and I'm playing characters I never thought I would. Like, I love Scarlet Witch now.
Scarlet Witch is fantastic.
Oh my god, you were doing so great as her.
Both as a design and just how she plays. It's good.
No, it's super fun, just drifting in, murdering someone, and then away.
Yeah. Time to pull up pictures of Concord characters again.
The funny thing about this is after the CEO, the director said this, Overwatch, the director of that came out and slammed him for it.
Not the director. Wait, okay, go ahead. I'm not sure if this is the story I think it is.
I thought it was the director, but there's been a funny back and forth between all three.
I'm gonna put some Concord gameplay on the screen, everybody. Enjoy.
Cool.
Oh no.
There's back and forth between the three?
Yeah, there's been a couple like comments on Twitter. I was trying to look it up and see which one it was. Bronson, you might be you might be referring to the one I was gonna say, but there's been a funny little back and forth between the two or three.
So I'm looking at this. I could see something here, but I don't see a live service game that's sustainable here.
So I think that the story I remember is the dude who used to be president of Blizzard being like, man, they totally stole some of our ideas. Black Widowmaker. It's like, Black Widow's been around against the 60s, you idiot.
Yeah, right. What are you talking about?
Right.
So
okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe the playstyle, but at the end of the day, I mean, Black Widow is a hand-to-hand person that is also very proficient in a lot of different weapons and playstyles. So yeah, maybe she does play like Widow. Who cares?
Yeah. So
and a lot of their like, character they took from Overwatch, like they do their own thing with them.
Yeah, like their Reinhardt is Doctor Strange, who otherwise plays nothing like Reinhardt, besides the big shield. Like, as someone who has mained both, like, yeah, like I'm watching this gameplay and I'm just like, if you were to ask me, if I knew nothing about like shooters and what different shooters look like, I would be like, yeah, this looks like Call of Duty. Maybe
it doesn't seem.
No, it looks like a ripoff of Destiny, to be honest.
Which makes sense.
It is just kind of gross.
I agree with that too, but
yeah, it's just I don't see that this is the thing about Concord is just watching it. It doesn't seem like it's badly made. I believe like if I played this, I bet it would be like, oh, all right, this is neat, but. Like you were saying, like the quote is, what's the hook?
It's what's the hook, and then also, are you really gonna pay $400 to get a bad Destiny PvP mode? Like or a game. Are
you going to pay for 10 skins in this art style?
Yeah, and when none of the characters seem all that appealing, and then it's
One of them looks like a walking propane tank.
Yeah, that's actually the one that I actually kind of liked. I was like, this is kind of funny. This is cool.
I would be totally fine if this was like if this was like a single player game, a campaign, and it told a story. I would be into it. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna pay $70 for it, but you know,
even that I'm looking at it, and I'm just like, I remember Jeff's review of this, and I remember Jeff Gerstmann's review of this, and he's just like, yeah, I don't understand why you would play this when you could just play Destiny, Call of Duty, or Overwatch, who all do the things this game does, but better.
Well, again, your hook to get people to play the game is what I'm arguing is if you're going to create a world like this, and it seems to be like there's something here in terms of like what they're building for a world, but I have no reason to care. You're just giving me a multiplayer game, and there are just better multiplayer games that are doing what you're doing.
See, I'm not even interested in the world in this. Like, I watched the cinematic trailers, and I'm like, this seems like we have Guardians of the Galaxy at home.
But again, like there's a vision here. I see someone has been working hard on this vision of the world. I need to be sold on it, and because they're not doing much of a story, like
I mean, their plan was weekly cinematics, like weekly cinematic, and like you can watch some of those. They're still on the internet.
Sure.
And like, yeah, like I watched those cinematics, and my thought was, this sure is Guardians of the Galaxy, but at home.
And that's fine.
And their favorite color is orange.
Yes.
I know you're a big Guardians of the Galaxy fan, so falling short is like disappointing, but
yes, I think.
But like for the average person, if you came up with a decent story with this, I could see people checking it out and being like, "That's neat," and then going back to Overwatch, going back to Destiny.
The problem is though, is they spent $400 million on this game.
Yep. They were boned at that point.
So yeah, like because they spent $200 million in development and then $200 million to buy the studio. So and it was a lot of toxic positivity in the game dev cycle, like that was noted.
Right, they were not getting outside eyes on this.
Yeah, they didn't get outside eyes at Sony, and even when they did, they were like, no, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be Star Wars. They did not take any of that feedback at all well. And yeah, and meanwhile, you look at, I'm going to pull up some Marvel Rivals gameplay for comparison for everyone who's watching the video version.
Hell yeah.
Welcome to the Marvel Rivals stream.
Well, yes. Welcome to the Marvel Rivals channel.
Hell yeah.
All right, let me get into match play.
Oh, Squirrel Girl. Just show pictures of Squirrel Girl. That's good. I'm already liking this more than Concord.
Yeah.
But, like, yes, this does look like Overwatch in ways, but, like, the characters look really bright and dynamic. They have cool designs. The color palette isn't just this puke orange for the map.
Orange, and then their characters are magenta and teal. Like, this one allows for everything.
Yes, like that, and it
has Jeff.
It has Jeff. Did Concord have a Jeff? No.
As far as I can tell, no.
Even Overwatch has its hamster. Forget its name, but
wasn't
Wrecking Ball.
It wasn't a Jeff.
It was Wrecking Ball. That was what it was.
Right.
This is just chaos too. I love this.
Yeah, like yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Like watching this and then watching Concord. I mean, they just have guns.
They have guns, and it's like a couple people shooting at each other, which, again, in Call of Duty can be fun.
Like Call of Duty, there are plenty of shooters that are fun. It's just that, like, if you're gonna do this game with dynamic heroes, then you should probably make the gameplay a little bit around it at least. Like, when I look at this, I'm like, yeah, this looks like what it is, which is yo dog, we made better Overwatch. Mm-hmm. We made more interesting, varied Overwatch, and also there are Marvel characters.
Right.
Also, this Magneto's doing work.
Yeah.
It's,
Nice to see a Magneto player do well.
I want to learn Magneto. He seems sick. He's so
it's
good.
definitely not as straightforward as other characters, but
Yeah, which makes sense for
Him.
Magneto.
Bronson, you need a partner that's good at Magneto so you can play Scarlet Witch.
I know. I need to find someone who is great at Magneto so I can make Scarlet Witch even more of a terror.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, like this and this is a perfect example, and yeah, I'm kind of curious how they, he just did an interview and they asked him like, well, what's the difference between this game and Concord? It's like, well, this game has unique selling points to it.
Yep.
I mean, it's not his fault that the interviewer said that. I mean, Concord was such a huge, a huge noteworthy news story because of how bad it was and the actions taken for it were so bad that.
Yeah, I think the gameplay of Concord was average. It wasn't the gameplay itself wasn't bad. It's just when you look at the game as a whole, though, you're just like, I don't know. This might be the biggest video game flop of all time.
I think yes.
$400 million altogether. The toxic positivity news story. You look at all of that and you're like, man, that has to be up there. And I know that there's been a lot of famous ones, Tabula Rasa and Fire. What was
Daikatana.
Daikatana is a huge one, but none of them were $400 million.
No, not even close. But what makes the story interesting to me is it was a highlight of. We've talked about this a number of times. It's the idea that there are so many live service games now. Of course, a bunch are going to flop because we only have so much time and attention on our hands. And what was interesting is they put $400 million into a game that did not have a unique gameplay thing to separate itself from the other competitors. And so you just dump 400 million into something that probably technically was competent, but that's not enough. It's not enough anymore.
And then to be fair, even if you were making a single player game, $400 million is not okay.
Too much.
You're just going to get competent.
Ratchet and Clank learned this, and a couple others now.
If you want to, if you're gonna make a game that's that expensive, there have been a couple. And it is Cyberpunk. It is Spider-Man 2. It is there's one other one that's in that budget area. I want to say it's Red Dead 2. Yeah, Red Dead 2. So it's
I think so, yeah.
So it's you basically need to make one of the biggest, most ambitious games of all time, and it has to be fantastic. Right. And that's the only way you justify that budget. The reason, otherwise it's just not worth it. It's not worth the amount of money you're throwing at it. So
what was the marketing for Concord? Because I don't remember very much.
I remember ads on websites.
Okay.
I remember ads on websites. I know that a lot of people got actually mad at the reviews being 7s out of 10. I'm like, no, because playing the game, it's fine. It's
fine.
No one was giving it 9s and 10s, boys. Calm down.
Just because you're mad about this game existing doesn't mean it deserves a 2.
Yes. So, yeah. All right. Well, that's that. Moving on.
All right. Yeah. Got our Concord talk out of the way.
Yep.
Again.
Yeah. I put that in because of the.
Here, I'll go ahead and do this early. Do we know how much Marvel's Avengers cost?
The game.
The game.
A good amount of money.
Is that because I bring it up every week?
Yeah, so I'm doing it now because I'm curious.
Okay.
That's another game that was here's a single player that's cool, and then here's this live service thing to pay off whatever it costs.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
$170 million.
Okay, well, that's not 400 million.
That's not bad in the aspect of you look at where games are at now and you're like, okay.
Yes.
The development budget of Spider-Man 3 is $385. Modern Warfare 2 was 200 mil. Spider-Man, like there's a, and this is marketing included in these budgets, by the way.
Right.
If you want just pure development cost, then the highest is actually still Last of Us 2 at 220 million.
But you have to work in the marketing costs, right? Like,
yes, you do. So if you factor in marketing, then it's actually Genshin Impact at 900 million plus. But considering in 1 year they make $4 billion, I think they're I think that you're pretty okay. So other total cost. Yeah, so let's put it this way: Concord in total cost, this does factor in buying the studio that made it. It would be the, let's say, 1, 2, 3, fourth most expensive game of all time.
Yeah.
And one of the games that's ahead of it is Star Citizen.
That thing exists. I forgot.
Yeah.
I always forget. Yeah. I want to get it though.
Do you?
I do. I like the idea of space ships and flying them.
I'm happy to report to you that there are more than one of those games.
I'm not saying I'm investing my life savings into this game. I just want to play it.
That's fair.
Yeah, so
all right.
Yep. All right. So next up is. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Screen spazzed out for a sec. Hey, Sean Layden basically says, "Hey, games are too goddamn long."
Yeah.
Sean Layden, former head of Sony, says that games are too long. The length of a game used to be one of its main selling points. As the average audience has aged up, it has become less attractive. For the longest time, we kept banging on about 100 hours of gameplay. This is going to be awesome. It's 100 hours of gameplay. Like, that's the most important thing to know. And that was the metric when the average gamer was 18 to 23. When you're 18 to 23, you're time rich and money poor. But as the average gamer has moved in the late 20s, early 30s, well, it's the opposite. Maybe you aren't money rich. But you're definitely time poor. So it is a mismatch to the market. Yeah.
I mean, what hasn't helped is we now have a bunch of people chasing live service, which means the amount of time that those developers are asking for you is like infinite. And if you get into one of those ecosystems, it's like, if I want to play other games, it'd be cool if it was like 10 hours.
Yes. Also, for some reason, everyone's cameras are frozen on my end.
Oh no!
Yep.
Whatever. I see that. I'm talking.
All right. Well, they can,
but I am.
They can at least see the green lights. So
that's good. Okay. Fine.
Now I can take my pants off again.
Yeah, exactly. Which is how it's gonna unfreeze.
I was just about to say that the camera unfreezes with him standing there in his boxers.
Oh my god.
All right. So he also just the constant chase for intricate levels of detail, which he's gone over in the past. But yeah, no, part of the reason that I actually started Indiana Jones recently, part of the reason I started Indiana Jones recently, even though I have a Metaport playthrough going, is that Indiana Jones, when I looked up it's how long to beat, it's about 14 hours. And
oh, thank God.
And it's 100% is 30 hours, and I'm like, oh God, that sounds great. You know. Yeah, so no, I completely agree. I've been banging that drum for a while, and I was actually really shocked when I put out a post a couple months ago being like, I missed this, and some people still going, no, but man, like, I want my 100-hour game. It was wild to me. I was bewildered when I saw that.
What? Again, we talked about this a few times. I understand when you're in school, 100-hour game is fucking fantastic. I
You're
appreciate
in
that.
school. You should be focusing on school. Oh wow, I've turned to my parents.
I get that to an extent. I especially get, when we were playing, we were getting, $60 games, and it's like a 6-hour campaign. It's like, well, wait a minute. I want to play more of this game, and the game's over. You want me to just go through the campaign again, I guess? There was a big push to go long then, and then we didn't have live service. It was like multiplayer out of like Gears of War and Halo and things like that, but
yeah, it was definitely, it was a very different era for sure. Like it was, you look at what's it called? You look at today though, and it's just like, I look at my catalog from this year, and it's like Yakuza was a 60, 70-hour game for me. Final Fantasy VII was a 50-hour game. Persona's probably going to be a 60 to 80-hour game. Metaphor's a 60 to 80-hour game. It's just like, even on the single player side, it's like, I don't have enough time to play all these games that I want to check out. Please stop.
Right. Yep. There are more games coming out than ever before, more quality games coming out than ever before. At the same time that there are a bunch of really good live service games. It's like, I haven't got time, man. Ugh.
Indiana Jones, shout out, 14-hour campaign. Astrobot, 20 hours to 100%. Thank you. Game of the year, by the way. Alright, so, next up is, hey, the FTC is refunding for $72 million to Fortnite players over unwanted purchases. The FTC will issue over $72 million to players who were affected, and they'll be notified in the coming weeks if they were eligible. The average payment will be around $114. The payments are being made to settle charges that the company used dark patterns to trick players into unwanted purchases and let children rack up unauthorized charges without parental involvement. This complaint, which was raised in December of 2022 as part of a settlement with Epic, alleged that the Fortnite developer deployed a variety of design tricks known as dark patterns aimed at getting consumers of all ages to make unintended purchases in-game. Items are often released on the Fortnite store for a limited time, and once they leave the store, they cannot be purchased, except in some cases when they are added back for a limited time. Fortnite's counterintuitive, inconsistent, and confusing button configuration led players to incur unwanted charges based on the press of a single button. The company also made it easy for children to make purchases while playing Fortnite without requiring any parental consent. Epic also locked the account of customers who disputed unauthorized charges with their credit card companies. In the time since this complaint was raised, Epic has announced it will bring back future battle passes. However, not all previous battle passes will return due to licensing issues. And then, that's that.
Wow. I like calling them dark patterns.
All right, so there's this whole genre of games that use a lot of dark patterns. You may have heard of them. They are called gacha games. What I'm saying is, guys,
games.
But yes, that's what we should be calling them, dark pattern games. Your Genshins and your fucking Honkai Star Rails.
They're not doing the dark patterns of like, oops, I confusing ass menu. I accidentally pressed a single button. I got charged $10.
Yes, I will agree with that. But there are other things I look at with those games and are like,
dark patterns is a great like catch-all term for trying to get money out of you.
Yeah. Cameras are working again. That's nice.
Yay! Epic is using the dark arts against our children.
Yeah, I tried Fortnite last year and early this year. Is kind of like I wonder, what's this all about? And it is an incredibly well-made, fun video game that also probably is one of the most predatory money-making machines I've ever seen in my entire life. That game is a walking advertisement for itself. It is gross.
And I'm guessing the 72 million is just what's been disputed, right?
Yes. Yeah, I would be my assumption.
They can't figure out who got screwed by this otherwise, which means how many hundreds of millions are people like, oh, I accidentally spent that, but whatever.
Yep, exactly. No, 100%.
And they only give you they do give you refund options for certain things, but you get a certain amount of tickets per year, if I remember correctly. Like if you wound up buying a skin, you're like, yeah, I don't want that. Refund that, get my points back, use it on something else. So they have had something like that, but not so much as getting your money back.
Yeah. So sorry. Go ahead, Lucy.
I was also gonna say, I mean, like Fortnite's always been that one. It's like, oh, news story. Somebody's kid got a hold of or had use of their parents' credit card and spent $10,000 on Fortnite V-Bucks. Like I'm a little surprised. I thought it was a fake thing when I was emailed about it, and I was like, spam mail. But now that we're talking about it, I'm like, maybe I can get some of that money back that I spent for a game I no longer play.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Man, that game. Like I said, I remember its store and being like, just the most confusing layout in the entire world. Like, for, just anything cool is locked behind a paywall or some insane grind. And it's just like, this sucks. This sucks super hard.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, good on them. Good on the FTC. Hope they keep it up. Someone let them know about Genshin.
I wouldn't mind them looking into it. Seeing what's up there.
Did Genshin hurt you?
I
mean, they tried.
They tried real hard. I know a whole Genshin crack house, okay? As funny as that statement is, they all play Genshin together I want to say it's Friday. And, one of them has to have their Genshin account taken care of by the others or they will spend too much.
Yeah. Yep.
It's it's one of those things, man. It is. It's I'm just saying
the loot box trouble, like they are trying to find that line where the law can't touch them. And they've gotten good at it.
Well, Johnny Law is somewhat confused at times, but always gets on their case eventually, even if it's the wrong case for a couple times.
Well, they got on Fortnite, so that's something.
Yeah, Fortnite's the biggest fish. Let's hope they can go to the second biggest fish, which is goddamn gacha games. I actually find the gacha games a little more insidious in some ways because it's very subtle. It's very subtle at first. Like they ease you in. Versus
they do ease you in. You get a good 40 hours in.
Versus
all right.
Versus Fortnite. Oh, you want Peter Griffin doing the "bird is the word" dance?
Of course.
Here you go, $25.
Holy shit. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and on top you have to do the battle pass to get him, and if you don't do the battle pass before it expires, you just wasted your money. So you're gonna be engaging with the game a lot and hopefully spending more money on other stuff in the game. Yeah, it's gross. Fortnite is very blatant, which is a shame because it's a cool video game when you're playing it. I remember I logged on for that Rock Band mode and had a good time. But man, the lobby for that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think that they put the live update for it, where you can use the Rock Band instruments with it.
Yes, I heard about that. But like, I loved going to the lobby for the rock band mode, and I'm just hearing "bird is the word," and I forget what character it was. It wasn't Peter Griffin. It was another like famous character sitting there doing the chicken dance while the song plays. I'm just like, all right then.
Yep. Okay.
Confusing times for sure.
Yeah. So that's cool. That went through. This is just a fun news story before we get to the Game Awards stuff.
Okay.
Yakuza and Like a Dragon fans trick Google Maps into adding the Millennium Tower rooftop into its real-life Tokyo map.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yes. Oh my god, it even has a screenshot from the game in the Google Maps image.
Yeah.
Hold on, everyone, check this out.
What the fuck?
That's awesome.
Oh.
4.3. Those are pretty good ratings.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's
Awesome.
so good. You know,
Somebody at Google had to have known and been like, "Yep, no, we're doing it."
I'm just gonna stay quiet.
let's see, a couple of the reviews. A fun spot to go with your Kyodais. Got shot in the leg and someone dumped a ton of cash out of a helicopter.
Yep.
Had a fantastic showdown with a politician up here once, another said. I swear, this place has some action going on inside. I managed to see the tower explode not once, but freaking twice. A helicopter with a Gatling gun shot at the tower. 4 men in suits, I think one of them was an escaped convict, walked towards it like it was some final battle, and a freaking brawl erupts every now and then.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yep.
So
They
think the reason it got through is the Millennium Tower rooftop not flagging any alarm bells is because the entirety of the game series are authentic recreations of real world locations. So they were able to be like, no, here are maps. Here is screenshot proof.
Right. Yeah. I love it. I love it.
I love and hate the time that we are living in.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the new one. Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I love how these titles are getting more ridiculous ever since they moved to the Ichiban games.
Right.
Like, it used to be Yakuza 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0. Now it's Yakuza Like a Dragon, the man who erased his name, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. So good.
Yep.
Somebody's been on some good shrooms.
Yes, exactly. All right, so our last little news story we got here is we're going to quick hit all the Game Awards announcements. Like boom, boom,
Okay.
boom, boom, boom. Astrobot wins Game of the Year. Deserved. Great game.
Sure.
Naughty Dog's next game, Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, has been announced.
That's right. I
want it. I don't even care what it is. I want it.
I would like to see what it is.
There was also a whole dumb discussion about that game being woke because of the protagonist.
Of course there is. Because of course there is.
I am starting to agree with Wooly more and more that this is forever now. Anytime a game comes out, yep. Hideki Kamiya is back with new studio Clovers, a sequel to Clover Studio, and is working with Capcom on an Okami sequel. Best announcement of the show. Jesus Christ. Let's see. New Mafia game. Mafia the Old Country. Prequel.
I look forward to it.
Hell, sure. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds coming.
Nice.
Last of Us 2 coming to PC in April.
Sure, fine.
Overcooked Studios' next game is Stage Fright.
Okay.
New Onimusha game 2026.
Wild.
Capcom is on fire.
They're doing it. I'm loving it.
Warframe 1999 is out this week.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Warframe's in a weird spot right now. Probably in a good way.
Yeah. A new third-person Turok game, Turok Origins, is in development.
Ha! Yeah. Sure. Turok.
It's
Never
made by
thought I'd see the day, but it did make me happy.
It's made by the Space Marine 2 people.
That bodes well.
Yeah.
All right.
New game from the Yakuza series, Project Century. Game is set in Japan in 1915. No further details were shown beyond the trailer.
Yeah, that looks interesting.
Yeah, it looked cool. That developer's very talented, so yes, I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
This should be good.
Speaking of the Like a Dragon studio, Virtua Fighter is back. They did
did not see that coming.
Right.
There were hints, but man, I'm thrilled to see.
Yes. So there's that. Wargaming announces Steel Hunters, a free-to-play mech shooter.
I love it.
Yeah, I have it downloaded. I'm gonna try and join this playtest here a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk about it when we do what we've been playing.
Yeah.
All right. Outer Worlds 2 gameplay debut.
Hey, people like that Outer Worlds.
That game was really good. A lot of people are saying that looked more like Borderlands 4 than actual Borderlands 4, which was also shown.
Right.
It was. I'm still conflicted. I've been a Borderlands fan up until 3. I didn't finish 3. And it did not look Borderlands. It looked weird. It looked like they just took the IP of Borderlands and made a completely different game of it.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. I don't know.
But god damn, that guy would not stop talking. Again.
Randy Pitchford, baby.
Yeah.
Everybody hates him, yet he still
comes out here. Still out on stage. Why?
Yeah. It Takes Two studio Hazelight latest co-op game Split Fiction has been officially revealed.
And it's out.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I was going through Steam on my wish list and it said it's out. I can buy it. I can play it.
Oh, you can pre-order it.
Oh.
It's out on March 6th.
Fiction, $50.
Aaron, you and I need to stream that one.
I would be into that. Yeah, I'm interested in this.
Yeah, that's
add that to my wish list.
Yeah. Next up is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming to PC next month. Cool.
I was streaming it.
Ico and Shadow of the Colossus creator Fumito Ueda reveals the next game project, Project Robot.
This blew my fucking mind.
That was your Okami.
Right. That was a game from the 2000s that was incredible that no one expected was going to get anything added to it, and wow. And to have it be mech is wild.
Cannot believe both of those games got things this year.
Announced in 2024.
Yeah.
Sure as shit didn't have that on my bingo card.
No. There were more rumors about Half-Life 3 than either of these.
Yeah.
I was really surprised that the Half-Life 3 rumors popped back up again. And they had some validity back with them too. And I was like, oh, I don't want to be disappointed here. I don't want anyone I know to be disappointed.
I have trouble believing anymore.
Right. Yeah. I'm not. The stage is set for them to do it, but I've yet to see them like any real signs that they're doing it.
So, yeah, I think that game looked cool from a little bit we saw. The problem with that game and the problem with Okami is it's just we've seen so little.
Yep.
I'm happy.
And Okami has. I mean, what I like about both of them is that they have at least in Okami's case, they got the lead developer, but then they're recreating, Clover, and then it's the team that worked on all the eco games working on this Gen Design Project Robot game. So encouraging in both ways, but we still need to see more.
Yeah, agree. Co-op standalone game Elden Ring Night Rain is announced. So this is a 3-player co-op Elden Ring game.
Yeah.
So there's that. That is coming to all the platforms Elden Ring is on next year.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next up, Witcher 4 unveiled at the Game Awards.
Which was my Okami.
That was your Okami?
Yeah, I am so fucking down. I am so ready. Suri looks like a badass. I'm so happy. I hope they didn't kill off Girl. I know he kind of retired at the end.
He'll probably be an old man. He'll be all just on his rocker, chilling.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be like when Marcus Phoenix showed up in Gears 4, just literally sitting in the chair. Yeah. I do want to say when you get around to playing Okami, remember that game is almost 20 years old. That version is just they up-resed it and made it look even prettier.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So the studio that made Sifu is making a 5v5 soccer game.
That's interesting.
Yes.
I did not see that coming.
Mm-mm.
Nope. I don't think anyone did.
No. Thick as Thieves is the next game from Deus Ex and Thief's lead studio Other Side. The game looked interesting. That was that that was the Warren Spector game.
Right. Yes. Interesting.
Yes. It is a PvPvE game where players are given missions can be approached in numerous ways. So it's basically it's okay, think of like Thief, but instead of just against the AI, you're also going against other players.
Interesting.
And it's coming out in 2026. I always love the concept of PvPvE. The problem is very few people actually execute it well.
Right.
So I don't know.
I'm hopeful just for Warren Spector alone, but
yeah, it's been a while since that man had a real big W. Needs one
since he's attempted, honestly. Like, yeah, and yes, yeah, Epic Mickey 2.
Yes. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound coming this. Yeah, that's so that is by the Shredder's Revenge team and the Streets of Rage 4 team, and it looks spectacular. It looks so good. I'm super stoked to try that game. It's coming out next summer.
That game looks cool. I'm interested.
Yep. All right, so there's that. New Pac-Man game, Shadow Labyrinth, is a 2D sci-fi platformer.
This is wild.
Oh, this is a good one.
I'm definitely gonna be checking that one out for sure. I love me some Pac-Man. This I did not see coming.
So, new sci-fi game. There's a new sci-fi mobile game published by Netflix made by Yu Suzuki, the creator of Shenmue, Virtua Fighter, and Outrun.
I thought he made motorbikes.
Different Suzuki.
Ah.
Yeah, so master your abilities and upgrade your bike to uncover new enemies and rewards and endless ways to play. Steel Paws comes exclusively to Netflix in 2025. So weird.
Huh.
So weird.
That is weird.
Alright, Dying Light, The Beast comes out next summer.
Alright. Some people like this.
Midnight Murderers Club.
I'm so fucking down for this one.
That's coming out in February. Let's see it. Helldivers 2 receives major update and special DualSense controller coming soon. So, I'm tempted to get a Helldivers controller now.
Yeah, I was looking at it and I'm like, I've already
85
got 3
bucks.
controllers. Do I need another one?
I have 3, but 2 of them are white ones, and I hate having white controllers. I also hate having white consoles, which the goddamn PlayStation 5 Pro and regular are both white.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to be painting mine here in the next couple of weeks.
Good. But they finally added the third faction of to Helldivers, which they finally added that. They added the Warthog from Halo to it, basically.
What do they call it? Does it say?
It does not say in the.
It's got a vehicle.
I will say that
try it.
The areas we're fighting in the new one is also cities rather than wide open areas.
Ooh.
And this update's out now.
Yes.
And along with that, they also, from what I understand, if the robots are Malevolent Creek, if the robots are Vietnam at Malevolent Creek, then from what everyone has played so far, this new faction is Stalingrad.
Wow, really?
Yes. It's real rough. I want to give the game a shot for sure. I want another shot. It's been a while. It's called Omens of Tyranny, and it was out that day.
Oh, I did pop in. I did not play anything, which is not in my. I played this week. I did pop in, and I was really surprised to see that only like 69,000 people were playing.
That's still a good amount. That's not a bad.
Still...
It's not a bad time, and it's also been a bit. Let me check something. Where were they this weekend at peak? Okay, so like an hour ago, they were up to 130,000.
Yeah, which is, I'm sure, with the news that they added the third faction finally. I'm not saying it's bad at all. It's just back when I was playing it, even after like the huge amount of people that fell off of that game, I was like, oh, that's a really small number, especially after the announcement. I don't know, maybe I was just expecting a little bit higher number.
Dude, 150K is still a lot, because like, to put this in perspective, you can check the Steam charts of most played, and at 150,000, you would be the 9th most played game on Steam right now. So it's just it. So you kind of have this thing on Steam where Counter-Strike and Dota 2 are always number 1. It almost never happens that they're not for most played. And then Path of Exile 2 and Marvel are new releases that are really big. Then you have the other games that almost never leave the top spots of GTA, Call of Duty, Rust, and PUBG. And then that's when you start getting, more realistic numbers. Interesting one right now is Helldivers is actually number 9 right now. Baldur's Gate 3 number 12. Won't die. People are going to be on their millionth Baldur's Gate run. So.
Yeah.
Alright, so next up is the first Berserker of Kazan gets a March 2025 release date. That is basically that God of War-like. I was actually getting that mixed up with a different game, though, when we were watching the show. I was getting it mixed up with so I thought this was the game by the Ori and the Blind Forest people. That is not the case. This is a different thing. The game by the Ori and the Blind Forest people is No Rest for the Wicked, which that is the action RPG I was thinking of.
Okay.
And that is also in early access right now.
All right.
So if you want to check that out, it's on Steam.
Cool.
Okie dokie. So First Berserker of Kazan is out, and the demo is coming on January 16th. So you'll be able to give it a shot. Game looks cool.
Gotcha. All right.
And last, truly misunderstanding the whole point of the goddamn show, a Netflix game is coming to mobile, Squid Game Unleashed. Free to play.
I completely forgot about that one.
Yep.
I'm sure everyone did.
I get so just point of that show right over the universe's head. Just
see, I love the show. I'm not sure if I'll watch season 2, but the fact that they did that presentation the way they did, and then everyone still forgot. It's kind of funny, you know. It's noteworthy funny. I know I'm still new to all this stuff, but still, like, it was comical.
All right, so all right. Well, I just remember Kyle Bossman in the crowd, and I'm actually kind of surprised they got him to do that. So I'm also gonna download Steel Hunters, the beta.
Yeah,
I will play with one of you guys. It is a 2v. You only match up with one other person.
Right, duos. Yep.
Thank you.
Interesting. One day we'll get a new Titanfall, right? One day.
And yeah.
One day.
This is pretty damn close.
It's
I can't wall run and grapple hook onto robots and rip people out of them.
Yeah, I don't think you can be a pilot on the ground shooting at people.
No, but I said it was close. I didn't say it was that close.
Yes.
All right, so that's the news for the week. Game Awards were cool.
Yeah.
Game Awards real neat. Hey, we got what we've been playing. We played games. We played game good.
We played video games.
I did play some games. I was happy. It's been a bad week for my mental health, and I got to play some video games. I got to play some stupid video games too that I won't talk about.
All right, so I'm gonna go over Lucy's real quick that are exclusive to him. We're not gonna worry about Forza. That game's old.
I just wanted to bring up the fact that I bought that a few days prior of it being delisted.
Yeah,
I've been wanting it for forever, and I've been playing with my wheel again, so that makes me happy. But yeah, when I read that story, I'm like, holy shit, that I just like saved myself.
Yeah.
Oof. So, anyway, moving forward though, hey, you played Star Wars Hunters. What's going on there?
Okay, so I've played this in the past. I've played it on the Switch. That's the whole reason that I got a Switch, is just to play this game. I know for a lot of people that'd be like, what? Why? But I'm a Star Wars fan through and through, even through the bad and the good. Now, this has been a mobile game since its release. I think, actually, my timing's bad, but I believe it came out some point last year. They're doing a early access for the PC build. And I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. I got accepted to the because I had to apply to be able to play this game. Which is I loaded in. It looks way better. It plays well. It's not Marvel Rivals. It is, I mean, it's a Star Wars hero shooter. They don't really give you any like they don't have the battle pass or anything like that. Which for early, it's pretty much like an alpha or it's a beta test, if anything.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
So you have access to every character, which are at max level. Well, not really max level, but they're all 25. There's no leveling up. It's just to test out, stress test the game, make sure it works, and it works really well. If anything, I've seen a couple people complain that it's not as fast as other games, but the reality is this game came from being a mobile, and I've loved the game, I've played the game, I've had 3 battle passes through the game, I've spent money on it. I like the game. It's a fun game. It's a good little, all right, so you don't want to like play a stressful grind where you get into ranked match. You want to play ranked, but you don't want it ranked matches. It's a good middle game to relax and play and still do some ranked stuff. Because you get a little icon the more you rank up. You get the same thing in all the other games. It's really nothing new. It's fun. It's colorful. I like it. Would I suggest it to you two? Probably not, because I know how you guys are a little bit more strict or stringent or picky about what you put your time into as far as these hero shooters, and there's a lot. I play it because if it's a IP and it's fun. It's quick, easy, and that's it. I mean, it's. I think the PC release is gonna. It's not gonna be gangbusters, but it's a free to play game. That has Star Wars characters.
It's very funny. What did this just come out?
I mean, the Switch version's been out a while, right?
Yeah, the Switch version has been out a while. Actually, during the Game Awards, I was learning about this because I was looking at a few things in a few of the news stories on my Twitter, and it came across, and I'm like, oh, early access into the PC build, and somebody had mentioned, oh, it's coming to PC. Are you gonna play it? And I'm like, yeah, but I haven't heard anything about it. So when I looked it up during the Game Awards, I applied, and then that night I started downloading it because I got accepted, and I like it. I'll be streaming it. I'll be showing it off.
Yeah, it seems like it's very funny that this is coming out at the same time as Marvel Rivals. Like, here's another Disney property that is known the world over that is doing a hero shooter.
I don't
seems
think
to be targeting younger as well.
I think this just also doesn't have the budget or the
No.
It is a very easy playing game. They don't. It's definitely not coming out to rival Marvel. But if you're not a Marvel fan, you don't like the IP, but you're a Star Wars fan, and for all the ones that we play with on Marvel Rivals that complain about how it works, this is probably a better game for them. Okay. It's easier on their potatoes. And
considering it can run on a Switch, I would fucking hope so.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun little game.
That's really fair enough. Yeah. All right. Well, then the other one you put time into is Steel Hunters. Tell us more.
Okay, so I love. I thought Wargaming was the one that does War Thunder. I said that during the show. I was corrected by Bronson because he's the all-knowing man in the chair.
I just pay a lot of attention to this industry.
I don't know anything. I just work here. But I saw that when it was released, and I was like, "Oh, access now!" So I also wound up applied to play that, and I wound up downloading it after the show. Actually, no, they gave me access to it a day later. It's a fun mech game. I used to love World of Tanks. Then I found War Thunder and realized, oh, I can kill a tank in 3 shots if I know where to hit him. I don't have to continuously load rounds into a tank just because they wanted to make it a little bit more fun. I like the realistic aspect of the battles. Now, this one, however, plays a little more like It's a battle royale where you and a friend or a partner gets dropped into the map. You got to go collect towers and kill scout drones in order to upgrade your mech. And you have to have repair kit. They'll drop repair kits, better weapons. So you'll get a different loadout throughout the game. You start off with one mech, and then as you level up, you can get more mechs. Each mech has a fundamental different abilities. Like there's one that acts like a spider that you can shoot a wall out. You can shoot through the wall, just like Doctor Strange's shield. Mm-hmm. And then the enemies can't shoot you, so your buddies can shoot through the wall. Nice. You've got one that pulls out a gun, a handgun, that when you shoot, and it does a lot of damage. It's great in a pinch. And it also heals you as you pretty much trades the damage for life. It's been fun so far. I think I've already ranked up to level 10. It does have a battle pass, but it's free considering it's early. They're pretty much just showing it off. It runs well, surprisingly. I was streaming it yesterday, and I was able to get it going pretty well, even for my setup. So it's not highly demanding. It's a lot prettier than Concord, but it's still got a little bit of a gray tint to the scenery because it's post-apocalyptic like warfare. I was looking at the maps though, and I'm starting to see a lot of resemblance to a lot of their World of War tank maps. And,
of course.
I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, all right, so this makes sense, but this is a cooler view about everything.
Yeah,
because they've got like a castle map, and I know that map very well from World of Tanks recently because that's the one I got stuck on. I kept getting loading into that map, so I'm like, oh, okay, all right, this is cool. The shooting's pretty well. You've got a shield. You've got your ammo and whatnot. So it starts you off pretty teaching you the basics. It's a really fun game. I think it's going to be one of my consistents when it comes out. It's not going to be my number one play. I'm not going to play it as much as Marble Rivals, but I'm going to play it quite a bit. Okay. Plus, I like giant robots and I love big guns. And the fact that it's a battle royale in that vein, it's fun. Also, you can, if your teammate is in the middle of a firefight and goes down, or you do, if he leaves the battle area or the danger area, either he'll grab something or you pick something up as like a quick revive. You can just pop back into the match.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's a pretty easy, straightforward mech shooter, partner battle royale, essentially.
I heard it was an extraction game too.
As far as the extraction, and I've only played, how much have I played? A couple hours. So you collect resources that you can bring back that level you up, but as far as extracting, I don't think I've actually extracted other than killing the rest of the teams.
Okay. Yeah. I'll have to take a look at myself when we join up.
All right. All right. Next up is Indiana Jones. You and I both put time into that this week.
I was a little worried I wouldn't be able to run that, but it ran pretty well.
Yeah,
I mean, I wasn't able to do the ray tracing, but it was fun.
It's better optimized than you would believe. So that's what I would say. I like it. I'm digging it. It's very much more focused on puzzles and stealth than it is big action. There's still like a couple of big action set pieces that I have experienced, but yeah. That other than that though, it's it's a fantastic action adventure game. It looks beautiful. I cannot get... So I'm playing... I have everything on the game turned all the way up except for textures. I do not have enough VRAM to do anything above medium for textures, and it looks incredible. It is one of the best looking games I have seen. It is a real showcase for next gen, as they would call it. Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. And I do feel like if you do like Indiana Jones, it nails like the vibe super well. Like Anthony was playing it, and he's like, "I've never watched Indiana Jones. Is it directed by Steven Spielberg?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it is." And he's like, "That explains so much."
Yep.
Oh, the 1-to-1 on that, like starting out, was pretty damn good. And
yes,
Troy Baker did an amazing job recapturing Andy's voice. It was amazing. I know Todd Howard was like, we don't want to have him in it. And we talked about that during the show because I had heard that Tom didn't want Troy in it. I mean, Troy's a big name and he's in everything, but he did that voice so fucking well. It's not a surprise that, like, during the blind reactions, they kept picking Troy's reaction or like addition. So I'm gonna definitely enjoy it. I don't know what you have it set to. I kind of have it set to kind of like just give me the story and a little less of the puzzles. Not that I don't like puzzles. I just want to get through the game and still be able to play everything else that I already have on my backlog. And I've got too many games where I'm like, I can't just sit down and do puzzles. I've got certain games where I've got my chess games, where if I want to, that's what I do. But as far as like these adventure games, like we were talking about, even though I do have a lot of time, I don't have enough time to just spend on a 180-hour game.
Yeah, and thankfully this game is short. I'm leaving it on normal. I did normal and don't give me the answer type deal. Like because I've been really liking that part of the experience though, where it's just like you have to read the journals and piece together everything. Like that has been a really fun thing, and it actually feels like Indiana Jones. So I've been digging that a lot. I as much as I enjoy the narrative, I have been enjoying the stealth gameplay. I have been enjoying the going through and like, oh, okay, we figured out this thing. Go here on the Vatican. I'm not sure if later in the game that'll change, because the puzzles will start to ramp up, and I might swap then, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really enjoying it though. I feel as though if you want a good action adventure game, it's a good pick. I do think that it very much reminds me of like stuff like Dishonored, stuff like Thief, that kind of thing. But Indiana Jones, like you're legitimately wearing disguises at other points in the game. Like I am dressed as a goddamn Catholic priest running around the Vatican right now.
Hell yeah.
With a whip, no doubt.
Yes.
Somewhere.
So yeah, like definitely give that a look for sure. So and it's on Game Pass, people. Go use Game Pass. Use your Game Passes.
It's working right now.
Yeah. And then I think the next game was something that we've all put in time to, except for Emily. Marvel Rivals.
Before we do, I had a quick question for everyone.
Okay.
When was the last time you touched Call of Duty?
Last week actually.
Was it before Rivals or did you
no,
play it after Rivals?
Rivals hijacked all other of my gameplay though. Like
okay, so I'm not the only one.
Like Marvel Rival, like I was excited to play Indiana Jones, and I've been working my way through this awesome as shit game, Metaphor Refantazio, and highly recommend this by the way. But yeah, it completely Marvel Rivals completely stalled my progress in every other video game I have played.
Yeah, they just released that new castle map and some more maps, and I have not seen any of it.
Yep. No, I that castle map could be the coolest thing in the world. I just
Give me
do
my
not.
roll.
It doesn't. Just something about Marvel Rivals gameplay. The fact that it's like 10 to 15-minute matches, 20 minutes if you're in ranked. The fact that every character feels unique and fun, and you're figuring out how they work and how they counter each other, and just, like, I started to learn Scarlet Witch earlier this week, and, like, I've been having a blast learning how to properly play her. And same thing with Doctor Strange, and same thing with Venom, and, like, I'm having a great time. It's a fantastic fucking game, and I can't stop pulling myself away from it because, like, it's so easy to just hit one more round, one more round, one more round, and next thing you know, it's 5 fucking hours later, and you've just been sucked into it. It's such a polished, fun experience. Yeah.
It's so much better when we play together and it's not randoms. Other than last night, we were all waiting for the random to pick to figure out what we were gonna be.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, we always hit and miss on the random. Sometimes we got a good rando.
Yeah. I will say this game is definitely experienced best in a group of 6, which I'm hoping we can keep doing on Saturday nights. Like, on Saturday nights, like, getting a group of 6 people together, because, man, even a group of 5 isn't bad, but, like, when you start getting 4 or 3 or 2, I'm just, like, especially in quick match, I'm just, like, sitting there, like, what are you doing? And it's just painful.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, no, we've been putting in time into Rivals, and
yes,
what a fun time. I've been creating a tier list of, like, okay, I'm trying all these characters. Here are the characters I'm writing off, at least for now, and then here are the characters that I want to play or can jump to if the need arises, and that has been a fun process. Going through and trying people out, going into quick play and just throwing out whatever, because we're going in with 0 tanks anyway for a defense mission. So okay, whatever. this match is lost. Let's just go.
So I played a match last night after you got off, Bronson. It was just healers. All of us were just healers.
What? Oh my god, it actually happened again. All right.
And we won, mostly because none of us lost alive except one guy. I guess we were on the objective healing each other, and we constantly team wiped.
That's funny.
It was pretty comical. I kind of wish that we had, like, proximity chat just to hear a bunch of yelling. It's like, why are they all healers?
God, that's amazing. Yeah, I feel like we talked a bit about Marvel Rivals earlier in the podcast, and I'm like, what is left to talk about? Like, it's just a joy to play. It's fun as hell. Like, the way they've balanced it currently, it's not the most balanced thing in the world, but it's kind of okay. Like,
fucking Iron Fist.
Iron Fist is wild. But I don't know,
Hella,
it just feels
dude.
fine.
Hella and Hawkeye. If you let a Hawkeye stay alive, you are fucking up.
Yep.
But, like, even those characters, like you said, you can just blow them up in some cases.
You can counter them. There is a way to counter all of these characters. You just have to account for it, which means we can't be going in casually. We need to, like, think when we create our team up.
And like, I get that, I get that's hard sometimes. And on the other side of that, though, like, the way I've been playing Scarlet Witch recently, man, just the cheese I can get away with because people don't think.
Right.
Like, the fact that, like, I can just, like, all right, I'm gonna hide around this corner and wait for just one of you to be a little far away from everyone else, and just nuke you down and then float away, and then or my personal favorite, getting my ult ready, waiting for all 5 people to be together, and be like, all right, I'm gonna go high, even higher, so because no one looks up half the time, especially in quick play. In ranked, you'll get murked super easy, but in quick play, people don't look up for some reason. So, just precast it as I'm floating down and just float down and team kill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, Bronson, you were putting some time into Scarlet Witch. You're enjoying Scarlet Witch.
Man, that Sam Raimi ass MVP screen. Oof.
Thinking about it, huh?
Yeah, I am. I don't even want the skin. I just want the MVP screen.
It's a great MVP, especially when we're teaming up together and you're doing these team kills. Like, you're gonna get to show it off.
Yeah, like constantly. You know, it's not like Wolverine's MVP screen is also pretty great, but the problem is like you never get to show it off. But on the other side, I love the skin though.
Right. Yeah. So, that's great. Lucy, you were trying out Squirrel Girl.
I love me my Squirrel Girl. I feel like I can hold off a good, like even a mediocre to good team by myself with her. Mm-hmm. There is a few that I have an issue taking out. I mean, tanks are hard on regardless who it is doing a solo against. But once you get people like lined up, using her Squirrel Tsunami can just be devastating to anyone lower than a tank. And then I just have to finish them off with a couple nuts and they're gone. She's a little imbalanced that I'm starting to realize because you throw out a boomerang nut that pretty much like if you hit a player, they're immobilized for a few seconds, so you can easily get some clear hits with her. And she's already kind of overpowered as far as her basic attack. But then you use a second nut and you just immediately restart your cooldowns. So then you hit them with that debilitizing move again, and you keep going at it, and it's essentially just keep pressure on like everyone, and no one can do anything because they're just fucking stuck with a bunch of squirrels around them.
Yeah,
I found.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that using her, I get more ults with her because of how fucking quick I can hit high levels of kills. Except when you kill all of my kills that I was working on, and you take the final blows, Bronson.
I'm sorry. Not my fault. Scarlet Witch is doing work. You know.
Yeah, always coming in at the last moment, just like in the movies.
Save the best for last.
You're gonna work Squirrel Girl into your rotation now. I think.
She's definitely one of my mains. I want to get better at Wolverine because I like his abilities. Once he actually gets rage built up and his healing factor boost, I could be in the middle of an entire team and just hold them for a couple of extra seconds, waiting for the team to arrive. But that's about it. At least with Squirrel Girl, I can just like hold back or get in the middle of the action or something like that.
Wolverine is just, he's so fucking bad. Like,
he needs some buffs. He needs some buffs for sure.
It's like, okay, his whole shtick is to kill tanks. That's fine. But, alright, so what you have to do then is you have to walk up, use your right click to get in, position yourself on the tank, and then feral leap him into your backline without dying. So unless you have unless your healers know that we're committing to this strategy, which is kind of a dumb strategy, it's like, why the fuck would I ever use this character? The only time that I have ever found Wolverine to be useful is if the other team's Venom is like excellent. That's the situation. Like, and it's because his damage scales to their health pool. So he does more damage against Venom. But like, yeah, which sucks because I do like playing him. I do like positioning myself on tanks and then just dragging them into our backline. But it's just like, if you're trying to do damage to anyone else besides the tanks, which is ideally what you want to do anyway, because the tanks don't really hurt you, then it's like, oh, then you're better off picking, like, for the melees, like, why wouldn't you pick Psylocke? Because she's better at everything than Wolverine. Why wouldn't you pick, God, who's the other big backline DPS? I mean, if I'm being honest, Scarlet Witch, you know, like, why wouldn't you pick, yeah, like, there's just a whole bunch of characters that do something similar, but it's not as focused on tanks, so it's better. And they also better escape and better survive, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if I'm not Squirrel Girl or any of them, my main is still going to be a Loki, because he's pretty fucking powerful, and just like nobody looks up, nobody attacks his clones as often as they should. Especially when they're all grouped up. I've done so many escorts where I'll just be sitting on top of the payload with all 3 clones and nobody's firing at me, and I'm just healing every
well,
go ahead.
Well, what's real insane about that also is, like, it's really easy to spot who the real one is if you just shoot. Because most people, when you shoot them, they're going to move. Just out of a reflex. Right. So it's like, just throw a couple bullets at every clone so they move. You know? Like, that's it. That's all you gotta do, man.
I mean, I definitely like it. I use my Lokis a little more aggressive than I've noticed a lot of people. A lot of people will just place them in areas, and I do need to get better at this, because a good strat to avoid anybody's ultimate is just to take the place of my clone in a safe distance. But also, like, I use them as turrets, essentially. I set them up to, like, design a kill box around the other team.
So I actually found out they do not do damage.
Oh, they don't?
They don't. They do not. They will heal teammates, I think, because I feel like I have gotten healed by them. But they do not do damage, because I have strolled right next to them and been hit, but not taken damage.
Oh, that's weird, because I've sworn that, like, I missed a shot, but my clone got one.
I don't know what to tell you on that one, because I've stood right next to him and took nothing. I will say that one thing that is also... He is annoying as shit on point defense, because not only can he do the clones, that little green circle makes anyone in it effectively invincible. As long as they're standing in
nice.
it. Yeah, like, you get a full heal and are effectively invincible while it lasts. So if you need some extra... Yeah, Loki can do some cool shit. For sure. And then, like, you want to be real annoying, pick Loki and then copy a Hela and drop both those ults. Jesus Christ.
Oh, God. It is actually really fun.
Yeah. No. Great character. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah. I will say that it is very obvious that the best DPS in the game right now are Hela and Hawkeye. It's not even close. It's not even close. Just like if you want to rack up free easy kills and the other team has a Storm or they have a Iron Man, pick Hela and enjoy your free kill farming.
Right.
It's absurd.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I got a chance to try out a bunch of characters last night with y'all. And I don't know, there's some characters I like, some characters. I was definitely in that, because we were joining with randos. It's definitely like, all right, you get to pick healer or tank. Those are your choices. Which is just what it is. And yeah, I don't know. My second healer, because I've been maining Cloak and Dagger and Cap, but I really enjoyed all the healers I played. Well, for the most part, I enjoyed Jeff the Land Shark. Tons of fun, just a good time. Rocket Raccoon is good. I like Rocket Raccoon. He's on my bench now, but it feels like a character you pick after 2 healers have been picked, and you're like, You want a little bit of healing and a little bit of damage. All right.
I find good rocket players to be honestly the most annoying fucking healer in the game to deal with. Because they have so much mobility and they're moving everywhere. They give your team a res, they give your team an armor buff, they give your team a damage buff, and they can do pretty good damage. So if you, and they are fast. Like I remember
they're so fast.
Like
that was the most annoying thing is Cap going back there trying to get the healers and Rocket Raccoon. It's not just like moving quickly, like they disappear because of that the way that dash works. They're just like they're on my screen and then they're gone. It's like
yeah, well, and because they can wall climb and go up and float and shit, like it's super crazy. Like it reminds me of that scene from Guardians 2 where he's in the goddamn woods fucking with everybody.
Yeah.
Like,
and the way his healing works, you know, he can shoot heals, but then he's also healing himself, which not a lot of other healers can necessarily do. At least not so directly. That's a good all-rounder. I don't know how good he is. If you're going like if there's only one healer, first of all, you're fucked. Second of all, I probably wouldn't go Rocket Raccoon. I would have to go like dedicated healer.
I'd go Jeff. Jeff is my like.
Yeah, Jeff is a good like. I need to do some good healing and get some shit done. Jeff is a good one. But Rocket is just a great all round. I tried Mantis. I don't understand fully. I feel like I need to go into the practice room and get that down a bit better.
Yeah, she's kind of a little bit of everything because like her direct healing is just okay, but her damage buff and her CC is really good, and her damage in general is really good. Like and the more damage she does, the more she can throw out heals and CCs and buffs.
It's funny that you got like your Jeffs and your Mantises and your Rockets that are healers, but also are a DPS type. But even when everyone wants to be DPS, like still no one wants to play these characters. Like cool, great.
No, the thing is like I can still get supports. No one wants to play tank. No one wants to play tank.
So yeah, we were having this conversation last night of like tank is just it's not as satisfying blocking damage or taking attention away from the rest of your team to you the way it's satisfying to heal people or the way it's satisfying to take out other enemies.
See, I agree with the taking out other enemies. I think it's way more satisfying to block damage or protect people than it is to heal people.
Man, no, you see those that health is draining and you heal them and it goes back up and like haha fuck you.
Yeah, but like on the other side of that, when I'm Doctor Strange and I have DPS behind my wall and I'm like, get them boys, you're safe.
If they get them. And that shield doesn't go down super quick.
Yeah, like
Cap it goes down pretty quick.
Yeah, well, and it also only protects Cap. Cap's whole
you got to get right behind me, but yeah.
Yeah, Cap's whole stick is like he's go into run into the back, fuck people up, leave. Run to the back, fuck people up, leave. You know, like disrupt them. Versus like Doctor Strange is like you're trying to protect the whole team while doing damage. Venom is almost a DPS.
Venom is the one. People should be playing Venom.
You know, like Venom is like swing in, dive bomb, slow everyone, run down the healer, heal. Okay, am I good to keep going? Yes, keep going. No, swing away. Like
right, yeah. From my very brief time. Oh, go ahead.
The problem with Venom is he sucks ass if you're gonna have to be solo tank. He's real bad.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was just reading that, looking this up. So Loki's clones do cause damage.
Oh, okay.
If firing beams from their scepters at the same target, if all three beams hit simultaneously, you'll deal massive damage in a short time.
Interesting. Why do they? Do they just do very little damage then?
If it's only one, yes, but if it's paired up with all three, because I don't really cause that much damage with just the scepter anyway. I'm more, I actually noticed that I heal you guys more by myself, but significantly more with the clones. It just stacks up a little bit, but yeah, you can take down somebody. Yeah, with one well-timed place, it takes a pretty good chunk of their health. That's usually how I dealt with Iron Man's at the start before I started learning how to use some more fancier moves.
Yeah.
Fair. So someone just put out some of the grandmasters put out a tier list together. These are the worst heroes in the game according to the grandmasters.
Okay.
All right. Storm, Iron Man, Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, Magic, Wolverine. Here are the best according to the pros.
Okay.
Doctor Strange, Hela, Psylocke, Hawkeye, Mantis.
Yeah.
And then what is like dead middle, Groot, Venom, Iron Fist, Punisher, Star-Lord, Rocket, Squirrel Girl, and Adam Warlock.
Damn.
Yep.
Okay.
Loki's not on any of those.
Loki is considered A tier, actually, so he's not at the top, but he's right below the top.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Just like how Spider-Man, Cap, and Black Panther are not at the bottom, but they're right below the bottom.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then some people do argue Loki and Jeff can be A tier, which I do agree that Jeff can be A tier just because of his insanely good ult.
Yep.
It's arguably the best ult in the game.
Just gotta know the map.
Yep. Yeah, you just gotta know the map, and then you just wait for the group up that eventually happens, and then. Best part is if you really want to be trolly, you can kill your team with it too. Grab all of them together and just boom.
I'm a chaos demon.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Let me look at this list here again. Yeah, I had a good time checking out some characters. Hulk is I don't understand Hulk. I tried him for like one round, and I think I was just completely misusing him because he was changing back to Banner in like 2 seconds, literally.
I would say, definitely go look at the guide that's on the hero page.
I need to go find that because, I could not do anything with him. He was not able to do any damage because he got melted. And it's like, this is the exact opposite of what Hulk should be. So,
I've had a similar experience trying to figure him out.
And the thing is, I've played enough of this game and messed around with enough of these characters to know these are well-designed characters. They all have a purpose. You just have to go read it and understand what they're trying to accomplish, and you can make it happen with that character pretty much. So I just got to go figure that out because I would like a different. Where is Cap on that Grandmaster list? If you still have that up.
He is considered mid tier.
Okay.
So he's
that's more than Cap.
Yeah, he's pretty solid. Cap's whole stick is the bad part about him. He doesn't do a lot of damage. That's kind of the shitty part.
No, he doesn't.
Nope. I'm here to soak up a lot of damage and take attention away from the rest of the team, basically. And so I don't know. I want to learn Hulk because that was a bad experience last night. I was like in the middle of the round. I'm like, okay, Cap it is cool. And then, I just have a bunch of DPS to try, which I think I'm just going to, I don't know. We weren't able to get a full group together, so I wasn't able to try out a whole lot of DPS. But,
it gets harder and harder to try DPS these days if you don't roll with people. I mean, I was stuck running tank for about 2 hours last night because of that.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, exactly.
All right. All right. Well, that's Marvel Rivals. I feel. I think we got everything.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so
we're looking forward to talking about Rivals next week.
And the next week. And the next week. Actually, next week, Aaron will be hosting. I'll be in San Francisco. Enjoy it.
That's right.
Wow.
Aaron will be making the docket and doing everything. He's the grand poobah next week.
Enjoy.
So before we leave, there was that news story that I posted the controversy with Activision lately. Have you seen anything about that? With
Yeah,
their AI?
yeah, they're using AI
Oh, right.
voice actor concerns and AI possible imagery for their in-game promotion. I'm not surprised. They're the biggest fish and they cut the most corners, so it's unsurprising at this point, which is why I really didn't.
It really sucks because they make the most goddamn money, and they're still. But that's to be expected. If you have all the money, guess what? You want more all the money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It sucks
I'm,
hardcore.
I'm looking at this as a potential really big issue for the industry
Yes.
because I mean, I totally understand artists and voice actors with the whole AI thing. It is a significant threat, and the fact that this particular game developer decided, oh, we're gonna employ that, and they're recasting their voice actors for a lot of their very important roles in the game, which your zombie storyline is their most important voice roles. It because you spend a lot of time. People will spend all year going through and fine combing all these Easter eggs. That's what they build their channels on. And the fact that like their voice actors are up and quitting and protesting them for this, it's bad because they decided to do it, and because of how big they are. Usually, when the big fish does this has a landslide issue that comes down at lower games because once the big fish does it, then you can point fingers at all the other ones that wind up doing it. So, what are your thoughts about that?
So my thoughts when it comes to the AI thing, and this isn't just localized to the game industry. This is localized to film. This is even coding, and like the stuff that I work in with like AI. Which is you're gonna piss off a lot of people. It's going to be a problem where you're going to have everybody on board of no fuck this,
Right.
and not support it and not buy AI products. Now the problem with Black Ops 6 is everyone already bought it. So, but like when next Black Ops rolls around, it might be time to have the discussion of, hey, we're not going to buy the next Call of Duty. That doesn't really affect us because we all played it through Game Pass, I believe. But,
Well,
oh yeah, you did buy it. But okay, okay, well then that's the discussion for you to have with yourself next year, which is, okay, am I going to spend $70 to own Call of Duty on Steam? That's
the problem with that though is I'm such a casual at the moment that like that stuff doesn't affect like how buy the game. Is it fun? Yes. Have I had a lot of fun with it? Yes. Do I regret buying it? No. But I'm looking at it as like, all right, is this going to cause future issues for packs coming out? Because like my experience is, or at least my experience, since I'm less experienced than you guys who have been in the industry longer than I have, is that in the last couple of years, any inconvenience like this tends to have bigger effects than they need to be. And then it affects everything with the future DLC, which, yeah, I'm playing Rivals right now, and like a lot of it. I mean, probably way too much that is healthy for me. But regardless, I'm going to go back to playing it. And if the game is underperforming now, because now they're having to work on all this, it pulls resources away from the game, the packs and the new levels.
so.
And then they wind up like how long before Call of Duty turns into a lot of other companies that have been big and then just like pull the plug on the game and then just waits to the new one.
So here's the thing when it comes to like the thing is both these AI things. If you are insistent on using AI for this stuff, then fuck you. Fine, fine. Let's pull the plug. Let's play that game. Let's do it. And that's the thing that you need to be willing to do. Like, I personally am willing to give up Call of Duty if it means these voice actors can keep fucking jobs and keep all this other shit for them. You know, like at some point the consumer has to say no. But in the game industry, what we have found, and this is something I've talked about with Aaron, is every gamer boycott is a 2-minute trailer away from being over.
Or just the release. Like, it just comes out. You can talk shit about it, and then the game's out. It's like, oh, I can play the game?
Yeah, exactly. And I think AI is a very sensitive topic right now. I think it can be beneficial for game dev, but the way that they want to use it in a lot of cases is piss poor. And it's also, you know, like they're basically just trying to put more art. They're, you know, like salary is one of the biggest parts of any company's, you know, on the books. And oh, if we can pay 2 less artists and we can just have AI make this zombies promotional art for us, fuck yeah, let's do it. You know, ignoring the fact that that artist loses a job and also this art looks like shit. So it's bad for the product, it's bad for the employee, it is only good for the publisher. So yeah, like I think that if people who are against this kind of AI slop stuff don't want to buy Call of Duty next year, more power to them. You know.
But will there be enough?
Yeah.
Probably not. I'm slowly starting to really think more on that, especially as of late, because I've got a lot of artist friends, and
yeah.
At the beginning, I was like, "Oh, cool! This stuff is really cool," and then the impacts that AI has just had has been far more negative than any positive. And I get it. Like, all right, you're a small developer, you're developing a game by yourself. All right, how can I cut my costs while being able to move forward? AI is a good opportunity. You may not be able to afford artist. That's a plus side. But when you're big enough where you could pay an artist like these guys, yeah, I totally fucking get why everyone's pissed off.
And even on a smaller dev note, like it's, you know, it comes off as very inauthentic, and like, do they even have the money to pay an AI to do this well? And you know, it's a little muddier there, but like, I think a good use of AI is mundane bullshit. The Warcraft team, for example, the Warcraft team, as an example of a good use of AI, is they use AI to help model different armors to different skeletons. So that way, like, because otherwise their artist has to go in and figure out how to, you know, map this one set of armor to like 24 different races, and it's tedious and it takes forever, and they, you know, don't want to do it. That's an example of, like, you know, like anything, it's a tool. It's a tool. Right. It's just, in this case, it's a tool that is being violently misused. Instead of a hammer using it, you know, instead of using a hammer to hammer a nail, they're using a hammer to try and fix your plumbing. You know, like, you know, while firing your plumber.
Right. So I was listening to a story, because after Game Awards, that Den of Thieves, you know, that was announced.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're going to be using AI for the NPCs. On that aspect, getting an NPC to act more than just their recorded or set routines, that could be a very cool and very interesting way to utilize it. So instead of having a one way to go about interacting with an NPC, the NPC now has an ability to work around how it interacts with you, and vice versa.
But you're still putting people out of work doing that.
Yeah, you're still putting, you know, you're still putting coders out of work is the
unless your coders are to actually make that particular AI, which is what I think that they were being praised for, is that their developers were trying, like, that's what they were working on.
Okay.
They were using it as a tool. And then, well, they're not replacing the voice actors with AI. They're just using AI as a tool to further the NPC's interaction with everyone. Which, in that case, I can see that as, a fun, like a groundbreaking ability to go into the next Elder Scroll if it ever comes out, instead of having just 3 lines of dialogue, it actually accumulates everything that your character has done and then reacts to exactly what your character does.
Yeah, but the problem with that one though is you are putting voice actors out of work then, because you can't have a voice actor record every possible line of dialogue to every
People
possible
are paid by
interaction.
the hour oftentimes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, now I'm seeing it.
Yeah,
I mean, they've done massive things like that before. It would only have to be a big developer that could get away with that.
That's the thing, though. That's what happens.
Could do it.
They just take someone who's going to use AI and then stick to their guns when the criticism happens, and then because it's a big game, people buy it anyway.
There's so much bad implication for this AI shit though that I see why people are immediately gunning it down though, and yeah, it makes sense. There's very few cases in which it's used as a tool. Like this generation thing with what was it, Den of Thieves is what it's called?
Den of Wolves.
Den of Wolves is what it's called. Is yeah, that's a cool idea. It's just I'm also sitting here going but you can also code an AI, the current version of game AI, not this machine learning AI, to do something very similar. And also, one thing that is need to be remembered about AI is it's also crazy resource intensive. It requires, to use AI like that, it requires, server farms and shit like that. To have chat, look into what it takes to get ChatGPT to run, right? This is AI is such this, I feel, tech red herring, kind of like NFTs were, except slightly more useful. Unlike NFTs, though, I do see an actual practical use for this. It's just that no one wants to. That practical use is really fucking boring, and also doesn't save that much cost. It saves some time. Like I said, the doing the tedious shit during modeling, the proofreading some writing, that kind of shit. That kind of stuff that would normally take 10 minutes now takes a couple seconds, but no one wants to use it that way. They want to use it so they can fire most of their art department. They want to use it so they need to have a handful of coders. And that's the issue I have with it.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's a that's where they oh, nice fireplace, thank you.
So unfortunately, one of my character flaws is no pun intended, but I love being devil's advocate.
That's fine.
Just about
I get it. It's appealing. It's appealing. I understand the appeal of it.
But I absolutely do agree. It is far too overused and abused.
If you want a good example of AI that's used well in a game is any game with procedural generation. Hades does that shit. That's a great game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's procedurally generated with fucking AI. But the stuff that they want to do though in regards to we're gonna use it for voice acting, we're gonna use it for ooh, that's gross. This thing is this thing that the Call of Duty team did is obscene. This is one piece of art, and they already have staff artists. They could have had a guy make this.
Mm-hmm.
They could have just had a dude on staff just, yo, could you make zombie Santa doing something? You're paying these people already. It just feels so gross and weird, and just the fact that this got out and they thought no one would notice, the fact that it has 6 goddamn fingers is wild.
I've seen the argument.
Indication.
I've seen the argument that second pinky is the skin coming off the finger, which I can understand that argument, but it's so I can't tell And in this world where AI could be anywhere, I'm okay with pushing back and waiting for a correction on that specific thing.
I don't know, dude. I've blown this up on my screen, and that does absolutely look like it is attached. It
is attached.
That looks like a finger to me, at least.
It does. That's the thing. It's not. You can't tell. I've seen the argument, and I say I could see that.
Oh, are we getting raided? We're getting raided by Cartbill. What's up?
Yo, hey, what's going on?
Coming in for the AI topic.
Always.
Hope y'all are doing well.
I can see that argument too.
I can see it, but again, I like in this age of AI, and like I would push back on that if there's a slightest suspicion, which there is.
Yes, exactly. Like I, yeah, I just, I
pushing back. These voice actors don't get paid enough as it is.
Yeah, I mean, you look up.
I guess game developers in general.
Yeah, well, that's always been a problem in game development, where game developers in general are massively underpaid. Like, if you're a programmer, you could make way more money going almost into any other industry than going to program for games. Just way more. It's shitty. Comment in the chat, Jennifer. Oh no, AI! It's going to steal my job. Yeah.
My job.
Yeah, Cartbale says it here. Oh yeah, devs can earn triple their wages in a corporate environment. They absolutely can. They absolutely can. Perfect example. Like, if you want to go work, like maybe a handful of programmers make what they are actually worth in the game industry, in the AAA space, especially, and they take advantage of that. It's just like how if you go work for a company that has a reputation for being fun, Carbell said if we didn't raid, he would carve our names and numbers in bathroom stalls for a good time. Good. Yep. By the way, if you're not following yet, you should follow. That'd be appreciated.
If you're looking for a good time, the number is 555.
If you're looking for a good time, Lucy's phone number is.
No, it's 666.
Okay, wait a minute.
66666.
That's right, boys.
Hey. All right. So, anyway, back to the AI discussion.
Yeah.
No, like it's this thing where game dev is already underpaid and understaffed in the AAA space a lot of the time. The amount of studios that actually treat people well is like, you can probably count them on one hand. I hear working at Capcom's pretty great. I hear working at Insomniac's pretty great. I hear working at Nintendo, if you're in Japan, is pretty great. In America, it's kind of just okay. And even then,
makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what happens when you treat your workers good? You fucking steal the show at the Game Awards.
Yes. So, but yeah, so I think that, so sitting here and having this thing being like, yeah, we're going to come in and we're also going to make less of those jobs in this industry. And, just like, I was talking with Anthony about this with cars, like, you make less money at Tesla than you would Ford. Because less people want to work at Ford. More people want to go work at Tesla. So that's another case. Like, and you'll see this a lot in different industries. Jantograph, welcome in Europe, where most, if not all, developers are underpaid compared to the U.S. I mean, yeah, that's fair. Is that in game dev, or is that in like all coders? I'm curious. I know that part of the reason that a lot of the games that coming out of Poland are like so good but so affordable is the wages are really suppressed. So yeah, I don't know. I love hearing from our European fans here just because I get some additional context.
Yes,
You know?
it's nice.
It's nice. I only have the US of A and a little bit of Japan, so it's nice to get this additional feedback here. But yeah, I don't know. I'm glad to hear the pushback though. I'm glad people are
Yes.
getting mad about it. I normally don't like to see a whole internet mob around dumb shit, but like this is something where nah, fuck them. You know, and
Yeah.
if people don't want to buy next year's Call of Duty because of AI, you know, good on them.
That's
Make
fine.
sure the thing is they need to make sure it is known that is the reason. So when you know, so like when the next trailer rolls around for the next Call of Duty, you're like, cool, not buying it because your AI usage, and you just go about your day. Like there you go.
What's got me worried is if this doesn't affect Activision, then and they just like wave this off and they get away with it. What other game companies are going to be like, oh, okay, so Activision can do it, and maybe we should. We can cut our costs, and yeah, we'll face a little pushback, but
so
they're still going to buy our games. That's the mentality. Is regardless of it, somebody's always going to buy.
I think it's definitely slippery slope argument, and I don't always believe in that. I think it's going to be studio specific. Like, I think EA and Microsoft will totally jump on it, like, instantly. I think that Nintendo won't. Nintendo has already committed to making games by people.
Well, that, and they get mad anytime even sketches a Mario and they're not one of their guys.
Yeah, they said it can be used in creative ways, but it's also it raises a ton of issues with IP rights and with and that AI is unable to replace talent. So they think that they are not on board with this. They are looking into their own technologies. So, you know, good on them for that. Comment by Carbell. I do think that working conditions in European studios are a lot better, or so I've heard. Yeah, that sounds about right. You guys actually have worker protections over there. I know. Wild. Like, what? You mean I need to give my employees health care regardless of their status? Oh, wait, that's taken care of nationally. What you mean I need to give my employees a real amount of PTO? Jantograph, a senior Java dev in the US makes around 122k on average. A senior Java dev in Belgium makes 60k. God, that's... The thing is, though, is, like, what's the cost of living comparison also? Because, like, if you're a senior Java dev, that probably means you live in the Bay Area, which 122k is, like... very mediocre if you live in the Bay Area, especially in San Francisco. You know,
because I used to make 110k at the lumber mill I used to work at. Though it was in a small town, and it was six days a week, 12-hour shifts. I mean, rent wasn't that high, but I'd rather have lived there than anywhere close to like a metropolitan area at all in California.
Let's see. The cost of living is rising everywhere faster than wages, unfortunately. That's a huge problem in the United States. Like my grocery bill over the past 4 years has doubled. And it's not just because I've gotten fatter. You know, so and then Carbell brings up cost of living, plus in Belgium you get extras like phones, laptops, company car, fuel / charging card. Yeah, yes, that is 100% true. Like, I have a company cell phone, and I probably could have got a laptop, but I didn't need one, so I told them don't bother. So yeah, I don't think I've ever had a job with a company car. I have driven company cars, like, for certain jobs, but never, like, actually had one with access to me.
Right. I got hit by a company car once.
Haha.
backed right into me in the parking lot.
Yeah,
And
so
then it was my fault that I was walking.
yeah, so I think that's another factor in the difference there. I don't know, like the wages being higher is nice, but unless you can also get a remote gig so you can live somewhere affordable, it typically doesn't balance out for most of these developers. And a big golden cage to keep you in a company is, oh yeah, totally, dude. Totally. I mean, I have had jobs that where like remote work is so important to me that like it's really hard to get me to leave a job if it's remote work. Like absolutely. Like it's 100%. So it's definitely one of those things where to keep in mind. Anyway, yeah.
Usually it only takes the job to be a little too hard, and then I have to have a talk with HR, and then I leave.
um. All right.
Just hate it when my job hits on me. It's weird.
Yeah.
All right.
right.
Yeah, I think that's the show. You know what? We got raided. We should return the favor to a friend of ours.
Okay.
Oh wait, hold on. Hold on, we got a comment. So back to AI, my 2 cents, I'm not worried as a developer yet, since AI lacks insight and problem-solving techniques actual developers have. On the other hand, I still feeling shitty for creative jobs. Yes, absolutely. And the thing is even for creative jobs, it's shit. It's kind of bullshit because it can't create. It can only interpret what other people have created and then shuffle it around. You know, because it's being trained on that kind of stuff. It is a repurposing device, basically.
Yeah, it's like a less cool Ditto.
Yes, it's like a very fucked up Ditto.
Ditto's already fucked up.
Oh yeah, especially from the hotel.
Yeah, all the breeding. All right. Anyway, our friend Sam is
hey Sam.
Our friend Sam is currently playing some RPGs. It's her RPG Sunday. So we're gonna go ahead and give her a raid. She's currently in the middle of Horizon Zero Dawn. Go say hi.
Ooh.
Go say hi.
Yes.
Give her a follow. You know, all that good stuff. Also, if you haven't yet, check out our YouTube. If you want to catch the rest of the show that you missed, and then also on top of that, hey, Twitch Primes, homies.
Yeah.
Cart Bale Samlish was in there before my stream. Also, all 4 of you are hot as fuck. Well, thank you. I just got rid of my beard. That's coming back.
Yeah, already coming back. Yeah,
yep.
right there.
Yep. All right. Bye, y'all. We love you, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Keep waving. Just keep waving.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Keep waving.